Welcome back to Sirfeel's TV. You dig? Today we react to this Kevin Samuels, you know, it's our main man, damn near our best friend, dude bang bang. Niggas our professor, teacher, coach, life influencer, all that. You know what I mean? Sometimes he preaching, sometimes he be wilding, but to the last video I just recorded, bruv, my boy was cool, calm, and collected. I loved it. Music in the background was sex popping my head the whole time on guard. But today we reacted to part 2 of my last Kevin Samuels video, Only Upperclassmen Need Apply, part 2, Dude Bang Bang. It was going pretty good. I don't know. Make sure y'all watch the last video if y'all come to this one, because it's a part 2, obviously. I'm naming doing slang bit. We're gonna get straight into the video. Make sure y'all drop a like, subscribe, comment what y'all want to see me do, and let's get straight into the video, man.
You don't have to be defensive about it.
I'm not being defensive.
You seem kind of defensive, and I'm just saying. I don't ask you. Okay, what percentage of men?
Whoa, already being defensive. You don't have to be defensive about it. I'm not being defensive. That's the definition of being defensive, though, right? I don't know if I'm tripping. I just started the video. I'm not gonna talk too much.
Do you think earn over $1 million a year? Okay. 10% of men in this country earn $100,000 or more. 10%.
All men.
All men.
Okay.
So every woman at this table, with the exception of you, but I think you skewed down middle class. What you say is upper class, but you call it middle class. You're all wanting men at least in the top 10%. All things being equal, what do you think the kind of man you would want from a woman?
What an upper class man would want from a woman. Like myself, he would want her to be able to have some sort of earning.
Some sort of what?
Potential.
Earning?
Earning potential financially, because, you know, we're talking about his financial status, so they usually say, hey, I don't want a liability and some kids, like you and some kids, you know. So they want to see a woman that can, you know, has the ability to contribute something, if not 50%, some of it.
Okay, so he would want you to make some money.
Yeah.
What else?
Looks.
What do you think? When it comes down to looks, what do you mean?
Just being attractive, not to just him. You know, men like to show off their women.
Okay.
So if he's a man of upper class and not just financially, upper class man, he carries himself, you know, highly.
Okay.
Thinks of himself highly. He wants to have someone who
Anything
thinks
else?
of himself highly. Skill in the house. They want to be catered to. Sexual preference.
What do you think?
In the room, in the bedroom.
What do you think? The kind of man you want, what do you think he wants from a woman?
I think that he will want someone who is kind, loyal, someone who's attractive, someone who has something going for themselves, whether that's working for a good company or being an entrepreneur, going to school, just doing something. Someone who also knows how to present themselves to the public, because you're a reflection of him.
What do you think?
The kind of man that I would want, what he would want, someone who's independent, willful, ambitious, charismatic, introverted, and I would have to say, I don't think I would want a guy that actually cared about looks, like, at all.
Care about looks?
Yeah, that cares about looks.
Okay.
I don't always look like this.
I think he pointed at me, so I'm gonna tell him what I think. I think a high value man would want a housewife. If y'all know what that means, go watch my last Kevin Samuels video or my other Kevin Samuels. I'm gonna link in the description, housewives, because that topic was. But yeah, that's what I think.
What would you think the kind of man you would want from a woman?
I think the kind of man we want from a woman like me, like a genuine partner, like a solid partner, not just somebody that's just there. You know, that makes sense with what he's got going on. You know, like two make it four.
What are some things though?
You know, having a good girl, like a good foundation, good family ideals, good work ethic, great personality, genuine, just kind of true to who you are.
Okay. Would you be surprised if I told you, all of you ladies, just described a man? The characteristics you're talking about, you describe men.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But you described what the kind of woman the man would want, and you described the woman as a man. Ambition, earning, entrepreneur.
Are women not supposed to have those traits?
Okay. The kind of men that, the number one thing men of value want from a woman is cooperation. Number two is femininity. There's a hierarchy in relationships. These men, when asked what they want from a woman, they want a woman who is happy and comfortable with playing her role because it's important. But
You asked
what the kind of, what the,
we would want. Yeah. You didn't
okay,
ask-
okay. The kind of, I asked you, what the kind of man you would want in a woman. Okay. But you described a woman as with masculine traits, and this is what tends to happen. Women tend to look at men, you look at, this is called attraction symmetry. Women tend to look at men and think that they would be attracted to what I find attractive. If this is the case, then why do we find, especially in the Black community, the more educated a woman is, the more single she is? Why is it that we find across all groups, the more a woman earns, the more single she is? If men want entrepreneur, go-getter, boss chicks.
Intimidation.
It's not intimidation. That's basically, that's making what men want a negative. Men just don't want it. It's not a negative. They just don't want it.
Are you saying it's masculine to be so educated?
Well, no, it's not a matter of being educated. Women have often gone to college to find a husband, to be educated. It's not a matter of education. It's a matter of what men want. Men don't want partners. They want wives. They don't want, because you said something about skill and earning and all this other stuff, right? But then 10 minutes before that, you don't want to have to be responsible for anything, financially, really. So today, many women are going to school to get degrees, putting on all this debt and everything else, which is fine to live a single life. But then when a man comes, all of a sudden, he's supposed to change and he's supposed to want this. And this is what we're starting to hear so many women today talk about. The dating market, it sucks. Why can't I find a good man out here? What these men are looking for? And when men start saying what they want, you start hearing that it's, intimidation. No, it's not intimidation. They just don't want it. Not the way you guys think they do. Is that surprising?
No.
The difference between possibility and probability is going to be really important in our conversation tonight as we talk. And also the ability to accept facts, figures, statistics, data. Yeah, because often, it tends to become problematic because we started getting into numbers and things like that. So do you think a woman should tailor her life around the needs of the man she needs?
Of the man that she needs.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, you said no. Why not?
I grew up different, so I don't think so. I think a woman should tailor her life around her needs and what she wants. It should never be about the man or needing a man.
Okay, so you don't need, so you don't need men?
For example, you keep asking about what percentage do you want to take care of in your family. So, and how you explained it, if that person were to leave, you're left with all of it. And if you can't pull that up, now you're in debt. You know what I'm saying? So a woman should tailor herself around taking care of herself, making sure she can support herself. Like she said at first, 100%.
Okay.
She can take care of everything.
Well, okay, but you mentioned not needing a man though. I want to challenge that. 74% of black women in this country earn less than $50,000 a year. 9% earn over $75,000. Unless you're going to earn what two people make, you need a man. Because once you hit retirement age, after you've exhausted whatever you've saved, there is no Social Security, there is no safety net. What happens to anybody who can't pay their bills? Once you run out of money, what happens? Welfare. Welfare rolls are limited. So if you were 60, I could pull up stats right now, but if you were, like you said, you don't need a man, and you just work and you have a good job, 50 grand is not anything to sneeze at.
Like your expectancy of what my job would be, like why I don't want a man, why I said.
Well, my thing is, are you going to have enough to pay for yourself regardless? Okay, so $2.4 million is what you will need to retire on by age 65. 2.4 million cash, not stocks, not investments, cash. You'll have that.
I'll have more, 100%.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, as long as you know you're gonna have that. But I talk to women every day.
I know y'all don't get mad because I'm pausing this, but look, I just want to say I don't want to say proud, but I just like the fact that Kevin Samuels is letting the other shorties and the influencers he's interviewing or helping talk and get their points across. Cause you know what I mean, past video he really wasn't doing that, but I'm just saying that out loud because I was thinking it. But yeah,
Who are earning more than a lot of women, but they're far away from that. So this notion of not needing a man, we need each other. And that's what's starting to happen today. The homeless population of women is popping up. Women and children are the largest group of homeless because this whole notion that we don't need one another. All right, that's fine. You can do what you want to, but at some point, these countries aren't set up for individual middle-income workers to retire in luxury, to retire and live. They're just not. So why am I saying all that? Because there's a difference between, when I asked you all where you wanted to be at 50 years old, and I said the clock is ticking. In order to have the security and stability you want, it requires thinking today and planning. Where were any of you guys taught any of that?
I get taught, by the way, my dad is military, very knowledgeable and stuff, so I've learned at a young age and he teaches me as.
I come from military on both sides. The military doesn't teach that.
No, it's, you know what the military does teach you though? A lot of work ethics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of like, you know, how you handle yourself and things like that. And then my father's also, he was an accountant for the military. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to finances, and like I grew up with him, I learned with him as well. So
work ethic is good, but competence in this country gets compensated. And the reality is none of us are taught this stuff, not in school. We're not taught how to date. We're not taught anything. What are we taught about? Taught about dating and relationships.
I'll tell you, women are taught, I wasn't.
Social media.
Women are taught
Social
at
media.
home first. Women are taught to be wives only, or to be just a mother, when before a little girl even knows what anything is. We're not really taught about relationships. We're kind of groomed to be wives, to be kind of subservient.
Where were you? Okay, were you raised in this country? Because you're saying women were taught to be wives and mothers. I'm 52. I haven't seen that.
If you pay attention, they are.
No.
A lot of women, because when women get out into the
okay, no, hold on. No, and I talk to women every day for the last 2 years. Okay, that's what we can't do. We can't do that just because you don't like what I'm saying.
Well, you don't
hold
like
on,
what I'm saying,
but
so
the difference, you can't,
like
hold on, no, time out.
I'm not a child.
Okay. I'm talking about for the video. We can't be over talking one another. And whether you like it or not, I'm going to have to call breaks. I'm going to have to moderate the discussion. Okay, so it's not about treating you like a child. I don't know you. It's not that serious.
It's not.
But the point I'm ultimately making is 26% of women in the Black community are married. So to say that women are taught to be wives and mothers when most aren't married doesn't stand up to the facts.
Marriage, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And then women are usually groomed as a child to, this is what you do. You find a good man. You gotta do this. Da, 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 da. It's always about finding a good man. Woo, 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 woo. Women aren't really, what I was trying to say was that women aren't really, or people, even boys, aren't really taught specifically about dating or relationships. I feel like people are just kind of groomed to like, and give them the basic, like find a good man, find a man with a job, and figure it out. And then the men are like, they tell the men, get a job, handle business,
The stereotype
type thing. No one's really taught about relationships. People are kind of groomed to just be the basic stereotype or anything of what they feel like marriage.
So what does work?
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Well, we have a track record of what works.
And we have a track record.
Okay, I allowed you to speak uninterrupted for about a minute. Okay, I did. I gave you that respect.
You did.
Okay.
I listened to you talk too. You have respect. Mutual.
Is there an issue here?
Oh, hey. Damn. Part 3 ain't up yet, though. Fuck. God damn, man. Part 3 ain't up yet. I ain't gonna lie. I'm loving this Kevin Samuels, man. These shorties is bugging. Put them in their place, you hear me? But look, man, in the name of Jimmy Slang Dick, if y'all like the video, like, comment, subscribe. Whoop-de-whoop, bang, bang. Make sure y'all check out my other videos. Make sure y'all let me know what y'all want me to react to. Kevin Samuels, the GOAT, whoop-de-whoop. I'm liking you again, bro. And when part 3 drop, I'm on it like swoon, you heard me? Like, hey, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one, man. Adios.